yellow sheet that we were going to hit that we haven't gotten to throughout the day so far. The 3 ways in which parents are using alcohol or drugs can create risk for the children. So we've been talking about some of the emotional risks. There are certainly some physical risks, which is taking the child to a drug buy is not good. Every once in a while, you also read the newspaper about some child that managed to get a hold of some pill or something that they shouldn't have gotten and ended up in the hospital. Yeah, surprisingly enough, parents who abuse substances are not as the best organized people in the world and keep all their paraphernalia and stuff out of reach of children. It's not the first thing on their mind. So accidental exposure to substances is a real risk, because when you have little 8-month-old Tommy who's crawling around and puts his hand in a pile of cocaine or grabs a pill, what do kids do when they grab something when they're that age? It goes in their mouth, because that's what they're going to explore things with. Mouth, very tactile. They're not going, oh, it's food, I'm going to eat it. No, they're going, oh, what is this? I'm going to try and sense it. Kids sense things with their mouth. They're going to taste it, they're going to feel how it feels, and if it's a drug, it's going to dissolve in their saliva, and it's going to get in their system. And that happens frequently. So there may be some physical risks to child, even for moderate use, if they're not watching what they have where. Let's see. One thing that comes up frequently with parents who are abusing substances is transportation.
Big issue.
Big issue. And maybe not in the way you're thinking. But if they have a vehicle and they have a child and they got a drug problem and they're going places, who do you think they're taking with them while they're under the influence of some kind?
Yesterday.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, that one that was in the paper yesterday.
Was the one in the paper? I didn't see the paper yesterday.
Oh, yeah. So Dad was trying to get away from the police. He was driving under the influence. We had 2 kids in the car. Jumped out of the car before it even stopped, and the car kept going and hit a building with the 2 kids in the car.
Yeah, was he thinking about the kids? Yeah, not so much. When you're under the influence, you're not thinking, and that's part of the problem. We've had families that have come to sessions impaired with kids in the back seat. And we tell them, you know what, you need to find out a way to get these kids home. Because if you drive, you have a choice. You can either call you a cab, but if you decide to get in your car, I can't stop you physically, but I will be on the phone to 911. I will be giving you your plate number and telling them which direction you're going. You don't like that? Well, then the other alternative is we'll invite the police officer to come to us here. He can assess you right now to see whether you're safe to drive home with the kids in the back seat. You want to do that, or you want a cab? I'll take the cab. You can't physically stop them, but you can really set the scenario up where you kind of let them know what you're willing to tolerate, because we certainly have responsibility for child safety.
Do you have them sign that, like, when they first do?
Signing means nothing. Well, it's a conversation.
But we tell our parents with Head Start, they sign the impaired parent policy.
Oh, okay.
Is, to me, like a sad paper that we have to share with them and says, if you ever come to pick up your child or somebody else comes to pick up your child.
And they are not safe to drive either because of recreational drugs or because of medication that impairs them.
Emergency contact
or a physical
list.
Condition that seems to make you be impaired. It doesn't have to be drug use.
Yeah.
But if they're impaired in any kind of way.
We say cold medicine or whatever might happen. Well,
you had a stroke and you realize it. I don't know. Something. Yeah.
But so it's sad to me that we have to say that to parents, but we do. We say it to them right up front.
Yeah.
So.
And to be honest, I'm not sure it makes a difference whether you say it up front or not.
Yeah.
But to say it at that moment is certainly important. I'm sorry, we can't let you put Johnny in the car without taking some kind of action. I'm the right to drive. Okay, well, I'm not an expert in this, so I'll tell you what. I'll call the police, have them come over here, and they can talk with you about how safe you are. They can assess that, because they are experts in this. So you can either wait here for them to show up, or we can call you a cab. But Johnny's not, I can't just let you go off with Johnny, but I'm certainly willing to let you prove your case. If you think you're safe to drive, then you should have no problem with the officer coming over here and taking a look at you yourself. And if you can convince them, perfect. Then I feel better about that. Most of them will take a cab when you do that. And you can do that in a very kind, gentle way without it being confrontive. You can try to grab their key.